So, sometimes we have to have a different way of looking at life, and we can often find inspirations within our environment in how to reconstruct, reframe, reevaluate the narrative. What I mean by this is that I have a 3-year-old daughter, and was 3.5, and we often paint. She loves to paint. She prefers to paint more so than anything else. She loves painting more than colouring in. Although she does like her toys, but painting is her thing. That's like her thing. So I would say we paint at least 3 times a week. Now, it struck me the other day that we always leave the paint palette quite messy. The paint palette. So, when she's painting, she takes the brush, she mixes it in the orange and the blue and the green and the purple. She's doing this and doing that, right? And she likes to paint rainbows, and the rainbow doesn't always look pristine, but because the colours are slightly bit mixed, but she tries. But one day I wanted to do a really good rainbow, something that we can potentially frame. And I was thinking, the only way I can do this rainbow properly is if I wash away the paint palette, if I clean it. So I went in the sink and I took the paint palette and I ran it under the tap and I cleaned all the colours, and it was back to how it looked when it was new. Because it's one of those compressed, like when you get not loose paint, but liquid paint. It's the compressed type of powder paint. So that's the one. And after that, I washed it. The colours came out. They was as bright as they ever. They looked great. Just exactly how the pack was new. This got me to think about our life. We often get aha moments in many things. And actually, when I use this analogy, you'll be like, yeah, that makes sense. And it's, you're not reinventing a wheel. You're just using a paint palette as analogy. And I don't think a paint palette analogy exists. If there is, by all means, let me know. Forward it to me. So it got me thinking that, if you're into art, you would know that there's so many masterpieces. I'm talking specifically about painting arts, because there's different type of arts out there. But I'm just specifically focused on the type of arts that colours are being used to create them. So just for, in case someone says, oh, they're sculptures. I'm not talking about sculptures. I'm just simply talking about arts that came to life due to mixing of colours. So with every single masterpiece that's ever existed in the world, it came from a paint palette. There was a colours that were put together to create this masterpiece. They were created, they were merged, they were mixed. But initially, those colours are once upon a time, they were individual entities, right? So every art masterpiece existed within a paint palette. So where do you fit in all this? Why am I saying this? The reason I'm saying this is because when we go through life's challenges, and with every trespass that comes upon us, emotional trespass that is, our paint palettes get mixed. Imagine yourself as a blank canvas that you're born. And every time there's we get good memories, which lives the beautiful rays of sunshine. But unfortunately, our brain tend to gravitate towards negativity a lot more. So we tend to remember negative memories and things that really shape us in terms of how we view ourselves a lot more, especially if they're negative. So what happened is that whenever that happened, just imagine your paint palette is being mixed. Imagine the colours are now getting together and they're creating what looks like a messy, undefined individual colours. It's just these colours on top of each other. You cannot tell the difference between the purple and the pink, the red and the green. It's just one big smudge, right? Which is what my daughter really likes to do. But what I'm trying to say is that if you see your future as a blank canvas, what masterpiece would you begin to draw? How would you begin to wash away? So every time you're about to draw a masterpiece, you think carefully about the type of colours you want, how you position your paper, what brush to use, what strokes to do. You think about all these things. That is called strategy. for a masterpiece. So then the question is you have to ask yourself is that you're a blank canvas. What do you need to do? If you can turn back the clock, what would you put on your masterpiece, right? What colors would you put together? What I mean by colors is that what mindset would you need to develop to achieve that? So now it's come from a palette to a mindset. What part of mindset skills do you need to elevate? What type of thinking must you adopt? What type of negative belief, limited belief do you need to leave behind? Where are you going to seek this information and how are you going to do it? See it as a chipping block. You take one step at a time. If your story is, I have a low self-esteem because of, then you start off, okay, how do I fix my self-esteem? And also ask yourself, what makes that story true? Is it because someone told you? Is it because it's what you believe? And if you do believe that, how? Why? And what makes it true? So what I'm trying to say is that today's a new day. You, your beautiful self, you were born as a blank canvas. Your environment was a paint palette. And a paint palette now is in your mind. Now you need to wash away all the smudging of colours to bring out the beautiful colours on top. And now you can start painting a new picture. Anyway, that's all for mini episode today. And I hope I didn't have to take away from this. And I'm looking forward to catching up with you guys next week.